Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. It is day 5 on the build. We didn't get a lot of footage yesterday or the day before, but a quick rundown. We're going to post the video that we do have on day 3 and 4 along with this video. Basically day 3, which was Sunday, we didn't get too much done. We overdug the hole on purpose, and we used the excavator's second tooth in, so that way we could go a little bit wider. That way we'd have enough room for the French drain and everything. Unfortunately, it was only a 3.5 foot bucket and not a 4 foot bucket. Therefore, the inside didn't get dug enough. So we had to reset our string line so we could get the house within the right footprint, so we didn't have to over dig where the garage is, because obviously, you know, that's a huge chunk of dirt right there. We didn't want to have to dig too much of that, so we adjusted the house a little bit on the string lines. We did have to dig a little bit of that garage dirt on the backside where you enter into the garage, because unfortunately we had to move the house this way also, and it wasn't fitting within the footprint. So easy enough, we just used the excavator to come in on one side, come in on the other, and we took out a little bit more. So we're gonna have to pay a little bit more in stone to backfill that, but there's no French drain around the garage, so it's not really a big deal. So after on day 3 we got the lines and everything set up, we started setting up forms. We didn't get too many. It was getting late in the day. My dad had to go home and it was getting pretty hot. As you can see, I got a sun hat on now. The trees do well enough to keep the sun off. There's a spot in right that back corner that it pretty much stays shady all day long, which is nice, but we're fighting with that mud. Again, it still hasn't rained, but that water down in the footers all the way around makes for a pretty sloppy mess. It's terrible to walk in and you get stuck and everything else. Hopefully by Friday, it's still supposed to be sunny, 90 degrees all week long, so hopefully by Friday when we're ready for the pour, most of that will have evaporated and be gone. Yesterday, pretty much, we just were setting up forms, so nothing too exciting, but we're gonna set the GoPros back up on time lapse, and we'll get hopefully enough, if not all, the forms knocked out today, and then we'll have to start placing some rebar, and then hopefully by Friday the inspector can make it out, and the pumper truck and the concrete truck will be here, and we'll be able to finish this part of the build. And let's not forget, here on Sunday, Marc from Welsh Hills Sawmilling Co came back out, and today he is going to do our timbers, actually our steps made of ash that are going to be going downstairs, which are going to be our treads for the basement. So Marc finished up. These are now going to be the stairs going down into our basement. As you can see, they are over, I think they're just over 12 inches wide. And they are 2.5 inches thick. We did that on purpose for a reason. I just love looking up and seeing a nice thick set of stairs, something that you would see in an old barn or even downtown here. We've got a restaurant that is extremely old, and that's what they have. They are going to be cut down to 4.5 feet wide also. Therefore, going down into the basement with anything in the future will be no problem. So if the basement's not finished right away, carrying down drywall and anything we need. That'll give us plenty of room. And again, these are ash, so they're a lot harder than the silver maple that I had sitting around, but oh my God, they are gorgeous. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up now here. It's Thursday, about 7 o'clock. The inspector came today at about 2 p.m. and he passed us. We still have a little bit more to do before the pour. We scheduled the pour and the pumper truck and the concrete truck tomorrow, Friday, at noon. We still have to set up a few more of the J-bolts going down into the footer, but the inspector said, and I'm pretty sure that we can just place them down in when the concrete's still wet. So far right now, we went ahead and placed some extra number 5 rebar going across with these kind of X braces down in there, so that way we can go ahead and get these straight. The number 5 just sits in there, and then we just tie all the J-bolts. As you can see, the engineer wants these things reversed all the way through. We got our number 5 rebar set down in here for our 12-foot thick piers, and actually I think they're a little bit over 12 inches. We still have to do the back wall, but again, we could probably wet set those, wet set these ones, and all the way around the garage. But like I said, unfortunately, the inspector had to come out here by 2 p.m. today because the holiday is coming up, so they're off on Friday, and obviously they're not coming out on Saturday. So I had to bust my butt all week in 90-degree heat, no shade, to try and get everything done by 2 p.m. today. I was fortunate enough to have my buddy Rob come out, and he helped me for a few hours on Monday. He helped me for a few hours on Tuesday. And today and yesterday, actually, I hired a local guy, a very reasonable rate for an entire day, and he does this stuff for a living. So he said he's got 20 years in concrete, so mostly in footers and all that stuff. So he'll be out here tomorrow morning, also with my dad and another buddy from of his from work. And the guy that I hired, his name is Randall. He's gonna run the pumper truck, and he's gonna make everything perfect. Like I said, my dad does this kind of stuff for a living, but it's more out on the street, setting in concrete pipe that's already hardened and putting in catch basins and all that stuff for, you know, water drainage. So he's done plenty of wet concrete too, but I'd like a guy to run the pump and kind of take lead on setting the concrete, who does it every day, again, for the last 20 years. So I've got 3 days in on him that I'll be paying him, and then the rest Friday. we should get everything done. I'm just so happy that we were able to pass inspection, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up here. Stay tuned. The next video will be when we start pouring tomorrow and anything else that we have to do. And then hopefully we can get the walls going once it hardens in about a week. And again, our dreams are coming true. Stay with us. Thanks for watching.